Well, President Biden laying it on thick yesterday in his speech from the White House, clearly aimed at Democrats who've been leery of his massive tax and spend bill. I think it's just the latest example of his ham-fisted approach, and I think it backfired big time in Afghanistan, even with that first vaccination target. Joining me now to discuss District Media President Beverly Hallberg and The Hill columnist Kristen Tate. You know, Beverly, you're a communications expert. I was down in D.C. Everybody sung your praises. So does this my way or the highway, do these tactics ever really work, particularly on such a public stage?
They really don't. And this is what President Biden has been doing when it comes to the COVID mandates. This is what he's done in reference to the booster shots. It's what he's doing with his spending bill. He uses a lot of catchy slogans, and he thinks that people are just going to fall in line if he gives the right message. But the reality is people want to know the numbers. They want to know what the science is. And often what he says isn't like. So I think he is losing his social capital because people are starting to realize they don't quite trust the president. And that is the reason why we're seeing his polling numbers continue to decline.
You know, Kristen, it seems like he gets wedded to these dates, right? July 4th for the vaccination. I forgot the date for Afghanistan. Even when those around him are saying, you know, maybe it doesn't work. And when it doesn't, he seems to last shout. I mean, and then now it feels like we're going down the path where it's going to get worse. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's very concerning. This is a president who's clearly not listening to the people around him. And I mean, just look at the spending that's going on, Charles. We've been told that Joe Biden is this moderate, but now he's trying to spend another $3.5 trillion and convince these more moderate Democrats like Joe Manchin to go along with it. And it's another one of these examples where Joe Biden is not listening to reason. You know, the increasing prices that we're seeing and hikes in costs of living are precisely because of these big government tax and spend policies, which he's trying to push more of. I mean, look at oil prices. They're through the roof because of policies like reducing fracking and shutting down pipelines. Yeah. I mean, this tax all Americans. It's a hidden tax that hurts the poor the most. But this is a president who's not willing to listen to reason and only seems to care about partisan politics.
All right. Now, if you listen closely, you can hear the drum roll. We're going to get this FDA panel decision on this booster shot. Now, here's the problem. The White House has already said it's going to go out. And again, Beverly, I'm concerned that the president he's jumped ahead of the science. That's pretty clear. And he's decided on something as important as this, even before the FDA has made its decision. Even if they say, OK, a lot of people are going to think they were bullied into it. So he shot himself in the foot, I think, again with this.
Absolutely. And this also points to the main criticism that he had when he announced the booster shots a few weeks ago. People were saying that this was all a distraction to try to get the news cycle to turn from Afghanistan to something like COVID. And I think the fact that we now have scientists and health officials who disagree, we don't have much data, I think it actually points to that being true. The president continues to jump on his message, to move forward when the science isn't there. And that all makes people think he's playing politics instead of really being focused on health.
I got less than a minute to go. Real quick, Kristen, this morning I woke up and Bill Malugin was reporting from Fox. Apparently the FAA has decided this drone that's been flying down at the border is now in harm's way. It could be a dangerous situation, so they've nixed it. And I'm thinking this is clearly a push against freedom of speech, freedom of the press. Just your thoughts on something like that happening.
I mean, can you imagine if something like that had happened during the Trump administration? It would be all we would read about for weeks and weeks and weeks on every mainstream outlet. This is crazy what's going on down in the border. I'm in Texas. I can tell you that even what the mainstream media reporting is not as bad as it really is down at the border. We basically have a full-blown crisis down there, and no one is in charge to actually step up and fix this problem. It is terrifying, and now the media probably won't even be able to get access to photos.
Yeah, it's a shame. Kristen, Beverly, it's been too long. Thank you both very much, folks. We'll be right back.
Thank you.